Welcome back to my channel. This is my haul this week. So it's a little bit heftier than it's been lately, but I'm gonna make a jambalaya. So I bought everything for that. I do have rice already. I have some chicken broth, but I think I needed everything else for jambalaya. So I'll start with that. I bought a pack of chicken thighs this time. I'm gonna go ahead with the thighs for the jambalaya. Normally at home we make jambalaya with chicken and pork and sausage, but since it's just me, I'm just gonna stick with the chicken thighs. I got some andouille sausage. I live in Seattle, so I don't have all the types of sausages that they have in Louisiana, but this one I've had before and it's pretty good. Got an onion. I got a bell pepper. And I also bought this already chopped, and I'll either just use this with the onion or I'll chop the bell pepper and use this as well. This has some colorful ones mixed in. I got celery. I'm just gonna use probably like 1 or 2 stalks and some of the leaves for the jambalaya. I'll chop up the rest and freeze it, so when I'm making soups and stuff, I'll have frozen celery. Got 3 avocados. These are the little ones. I got 1 cucumber to cut up for snacks, or I can put it on sandwiches because I bought some more stuff for sandwiches. I have the ham that I bought, I think last week. And I also have this oven roasted turkey breast. This one is 0 points. The ham is like 2 points per serving. Got some more thin sliced Swiss cheese for the sandwiches. I'm almost out. And I bought these a little while ago. Really like them. And I bought 2 types of syrup. I wanted to try the sugar-free and just see what that tasted like. And then if I don't like it, then I have the regular. But of course, the sugar-free is a lot lower on points and calories. But if I have room for it, I don't mind going for the real stuff. I ordered smoked paprika for the jambalaya. It looks like the shopper made a mistake and put chili powder instead. I'll have to see, maybe I made the mistake in the app, but I'll just take a walk to Safeway to buy some smoked paprika, and that way I can have it for my jambalaya, and I'll just save this to use when I make chili. But that is all I got. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to see how I put all this together to make yummy meals and stay on track with points and calories, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I went and I got my spices. I got the smoked paprika. And I picked up some bread while I was there. So, got this bread. The only thing about this kind of bread, it's really fresh and clean ingredients. But after a day or two, it's got to be in the fridge or freezer because it will start molding. Or what do you call it? Mold? Bread molds? I don't know. It'll get little white specks, maybe blue specks, but I'm gonna eat it a little bit at a time, but I'll keep it in the fridge, and I'll probably put about half of it in the freezer just to be safe. And then I just pull 1 piece out at a time, 1 or 2 pieces, put them in the toaster, and it's really good bread. It's one of my favorite local bakeries out here in Seattle. Enjoyed the flapjacks, and to keep the points low, I used I Can't Believe It's Not Butter and the sugar-free maple syrup, so that was a deal, and I cut it up to make it easier to eat, but this is definitely a keeper. Jambalaya today, Sha. Look what I got. We got some chicken thighs, got my sausage, got my pre-chopped onion and bell pepper, and a little bit of celery. This is probably more than I'm gonna need because I also bought these little colorful bell peppers. I just like to add a little color. A lot of people, when they make jambalaya, they'll just do the green bell pepper, but sometimes I like to add a little color. And we got some rice. I'm gonna use olive oil, Tony's, garlic powder, and smoked paprika. And that's what we got for the jambalaya. So not so hard as it seems. I start off with a little olive oil and I just saute the veggies. I make them real soft. You want them real soft. You want them to kind of brown, and that browning is what gives the flavor. So we're just gonna let these cook down. As you can see, they're starting to brown, and that's okay. It's gonna clean up out of this Le Creuset pot, and it just kind of gives the flavor. I've got my chicken here getting ready to add that with the sausage. You can add them to the same pot if you have a big enough pot. Mine was getting a little crowded, so I ended up adding the sausage to a separate pan to brown. You could keep letting it brown a lot more, but I'm a little impatient, so I went ahead and added the chicken and started cooking that together with the onions and bell pepper, and just kind of got that browned as well. And then I'm going to add the sausage to a separate pan because the pot got a little bit crowded. I added just a little bit of broth to begin scraping the little browned bits off of the bottom, and that's where we're going to get a lot of the flavor. At this point, I added the sausage to a separate pan so that I could brown it and let the chicken and the veggies just continue to cook, continue to simmer a little bit, and then I'll mix it all together after a minute. I added the sausage to the chicken and veggie mixture, and at this point we're ready to let that all simmer together, and I just continue adding broth and letting that cook down. I added the rest of the carton of broth at this time and just let it cook down. I brought it back up to a boil for a minute and let it cook down, and then we'll add the rice later. This is the point where I added some Tony's, so I just added it. I didn't measure, I don't know, maybe there's a tablespoon in here, but I just sprinkled it all through and measured with the heart. I went ahead and added the garlic powder next, and again, I just added until I thought it was a good amount. You could add more or less depending on your flavor profile. And then I added the smoked paprika. Also measuring from the heart, just pouring it in there, giving it all that flavor. To keep it simple, I cooked the rice on the side and added it. You could add the rice into this soupy mixture and let it cook that way, but it's just hard to get it right so that you don't have bits of crunchy rice. So I always cook it on the side. The mixture has been simmering and the rice is ready, so I'm just gonna add little by little the rice to get the desired texture. I ended up using 3 cups of cooked rice, so that's a 3-cup rice cooker, and I cooked the whole 3 cups, and I added it all. At the end, I added it all. So depending on how much meat and sausage mixture you have, that is the basis of how much rice you add. Once the rice is ready, you just continue mixing it in, kind of folding it in, and you don't want to stir it too much and have it turn mushy or mash the rice, but you just want to combine it all. Once combined, I put it on a low heat just to let it simmer and let all the liquids cook out and let it all mix up. You want to be careful that you're not letting it just sit and simmer to the point where it burns on the bottom. So you always want to check it, keep it on a low heat. Voila, we've got jambalaya. I always eat a sample once it's cooked, so this was my serving, and I had it with the last of my cucumber and tomatoes I needed to finish up, and this was great. I'm so happy to be cooking the food that I grew up eating. I miss it sometimes, and this was good, and now I can kind of say I know how to make it. So this is what I got for it. I got 4 servings to take to work, the serving that I ate, and then 2 extra servings. So I think I ended up freezing these 2. I'm not sure if I freezed them or if I ended up eating them, but I had the 4 to take to work that I did eat at work, and I think I froze the last 2, so in a couple weeks I'll have some jambalaya to pull out of the freezer. I had it with green beans, and I can't believe it's not butter. So it was a good meal combination, and I enjoyed every bite. And just to say, the corn and the green beans were pantry items that I had, so it was time to use them up before they went past their best by date. So that was a good way to use them. And that's how we eat jambalaya. We just eat it with a little side salad or with some cucumbers or green beans, corn, anything like that. Keep it simple.